Hello and welcome to everyone listening. This is the first part of our new little mini campaign that we're running for Warhammer 40k. It's kind of a smaller skirmish style. So, welcome to the depths of Anarcus. So each video is going to open up with this roleplay session in which our two Inquisitors, Inquisitor Kaede and Inquisitor Scarlet, are going to undertake some roleplay, do some investigation, and decide where their adventure goes. And then the second half, if you want to skip straight to it, you can go straight to watching the miniature section in which their adventures are kind of resolved through a more traditional but smaller scale Warhammer 40k game. So, in between this section and just before the start of the model section, there's also a little thing on the warbands and what they've got. But just for rules-wise, the roleplay doesn't stop when we go into the miniature section, so you can continue to roleplay and ask questions. In fact, I encourage it while you're exploring the environments with your miniatures. Other than that, there's only other two little rules you need to know, and that's you've got some custom stratagems. Well, one custom stratagem, which will give you a hint as to what your objectives are, or where important things might be, for 1 CP, and you can at any time quit any of the missions you might stumble into, so long as there's no enemies within 6 inches of your Inquisitors. So if you want to run away like Sir Robin, you can do so.
Alright, so with that is all the rules explanation for the players done. We will now commence the story time section. Again, if you're not interested in the story section here, in which will precede every episode, the main battle report, and then follow every battle report with an epilogue, then you can exit this video and jump straight to it. But those are the basic rules for the campaign. Everything else is basically under strength squads in terms of the loadouts, which you'll see in the separate warband videos, or clips that precede the main battle report. Alright, so with that in mind, we will now begin the main story, or the first story time.
Alright. So, recently, your investigations in Oceania have been focused on the corruption amongst the prominent figures in the sector. Your acolytes were in the midst of such investigations on one prominent hive world when they discovered a massive underground trade network that specialized in the smuggling of illicit xenotechnology and artifacts.
Damn Xenos.
After a certain incident at a high society function, one of the Xeno artifacts, hyphenated fingers, escaped and went on a killing spree through the local governor's palace.
Fucking Xenos.
The acolytes uncovered the origins of this Xeno relic trade as a result and traced it back to the Anarcus system, a planet on the edge of the Oceania sector, some distance away from Astralis. It's kind of at the furthest most edge of Oceania, and beyond it is nothing but void.
And more Xenos.
And more Xenos, in all likelihood, considering beyond Anarcus is pretty much unexplored. However, your acolytes went undercover to infiltrate the pirate haven that is Anarcus and discover and destroy the distributors. However, your last contact with them was a month ago, and the last transmission received before they went silent was a request for aid. Now, with the help of a rogue trader captain, Lord Solar, and his ship, you're on your way to the Anarcus system to investigate personally and find your lost acolytes. As Captain Solar watches the monitors from his command throne, he waited patiently for the planet to come into view. As the ship throttled towards the distant pale orb at sublight speeds, his patience held only until he could be rid of his uninvited guests that stood behind him. You two.
Uninvited?
However, it was not the guests behind him, but it was that made Captain Solar anxious, but those that had taken up residence in his holds when you had come aboard.
Xenos?
Your warbands. Since your warbands include quite a variety of dangerous individuals who may or may not be on a level of 1 to psychotic heretic purges.
Oh, they're fine.
They'll be right.
As the pale planet came into view, the picked monitors begin to flash. Whatever reason it is you have commandeered my vessel appears to be no longer necessary, Inquisitors. Solar claimed, as the displays upon the main monitor show the very sight that both he and his crew were seeing. Around Anarcus, there should be dozens or even hundreds of vessels, but now there were none.
Where'd they go?
Odd.
In their place was a massive debris field around the frozen planet and its orbiting space station,
Oh, they were
made up
destroyed.
of
Yeah.
many, many vessels.
We found the vessels.
Hopefully this doesn't turn into a space hulk.
The space station itself appears battered, but damaged.
Oh, there is something intact.
Okay. As you examine the scene through the pick monitors on the bridge, the crewmen make ready to navigate the debris field. Captain Solar, as they're doing so, inquires to his operator, "Is the station still functional?" The crewman replies, "The station is still intact, my lord, but we are picking up low power emissions. We will have to dock manually." "Very well," Lord Solar replied. "What are your orders, Lord Inquisitors?"
We're going down?
Yeah. Doc, don't crash.
Good luck.
Okay.
He'll be standing right behind you, glaring.
Menacingly.
Are either of you psychers? Are Kade's a psyker.
Kade's
is
a
a
psycho.
psycho.
Alright. Roll me a psychic test. Alright. So, you passed. So as you come close, as the ship goes closer to the station, you feel a kind of psychic pressure.
Ow.
And then you start to get sort of visions and ideas in your brain. Things that aren't normally there. You see a green fist around a gnarled jaw.
Oh, that's definitely an orc.
An interwoven spider draped with blood and blades, looming over a shadow.
Well, that's just fucking weird.
Green flowing liquid and eternal malice, old cogs, rusted and moving tendrils. You see a red light, and you feel very cold.
This gives me bad juju.
You got the bad juju?
Do you still want to continue your approach to the station?
That was trippy. I have a bad feeling about this.
Be worried if you didn't, to be fair.
Where else is there for us to go, though?
Okay. So as the ship continues forward, the same crewman who was monitoring the Vox station before, who gave you the information on the status of the station, speaks up. "My lord, we are picking up what appears to be a faint transmission from the planet's surface. The signal is scrambled as if jammed, and we're only getting faint fragments, enough to tell that it is an Imperial signal, but nothing more.
Distress beacon?
It appears so, sir, but we have no way of knowing."
Should we investigate there first?
I would suggest so.
Let's investigate the surface first. Prepare my shuttle.
"Understood, sir, but we can only get you so close to the signal origin. It appears to be being actively jammed."
Get us as close as you can, we'll find it.
"Very well. It does appear to be isolated to a series of structures on the northernmost glacial plateau.
What's meant to be down there?
Anarcus, the planet, is home to a number of pirate bases typically used to house and store equipment, illegal, illicit substances, pirate bases to operate out of.
So that's what this building, collection of buildings is, a pirate base?
No way of knowing, sir.
Okay.
The probability is high, however. But there is a slight vox signal coming through with some audio. It's highly garbled.
What do you got?
This is Ravis Outpost Name Aid Omna.
Sounds like Adeptus Mechanicus. Are there any records of there being any explorator vessels or groups down there? Or any research?
None known. However, it's not just pirates who frequent Anarcus, it is other groups as well, and there is a Imperial Forge world called Chemica, relatively close by.
Sounds like there could be some adepts down there, or maybe even some heretics. Regardless, we should go in fully prepared for battle.
Lord Solar turns to you and says, "Very well. We will prepare shuttles to take you to the surface."
Excellent. You wait here.
Alright. Well, that actually concludes the roleplay section.
Oh.
So... it doesn't. There's just a lot more you could have done there, but okay. So, at your command, your personal forces heed the call to embark upon the old and worn-down shuttles of the Solar Isabella, to depart for the cold and unfeeling surface of Anarcus. As your small fleet of shuttles breaks away through the debris field, the entire cabin rocks and shakes violently as they descend into the planet's atmosphere. The violent crash rocks many of your soldiers in their seats, but few give any signs that they're experiencing discomfort. The vessels penetrate the planet relatively swiftly and hurtle down towards the ice slopes of Golgis Reef. Your pilots do not seem really content on slowing down due to the snowstorm in the area. But eventually you're able to peel away, and before you know it, you're down on the ground. As your pilots call out to you to let you know what's happening, roll another psychic test. Alright. You feel a lot of psychic pressure.
Oh, my head.
Almost like there's something underneath the ice. But that's about it.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Again?
While you're experiencing this headache, the other co-pilot turns to you, Inquisitor Scarlet, and says, "My lord, we have cleared the jamming field and appear to be receiving the Vox signal on our auger arrays. It's coming through now."
Oh, play it.
"This is Supreme Magus Genitus T. Pratox Ravis, Arc Illuminator of the Pax Mechanicum Chemoflux, calling any servants of the Omnissiah. My compound is under attack by Xenos raiders, and we require aid." The message then repeats again and again. Same monotone delivery.
Well, that's not surprising,
With
but...
the same extremely long title.
Well, that guy's not up himself.
Oh.
Oh, my head.
You're right there.
Migraine.
Well, as you get out of the shuttles, you feel very, very, very cold. You are on an ice planet in the middle of a blizzard.
I wish we'd bought some Valhallans with us.
I should have brought a bigger coat.
The snow, you actually find, as you're very much fooled when one of your space marines jumps out, is actually up to your waist.
Oh, wow. Fun times.
So, it's going to be a bit of a slog to wherever you go unless you take the shuttle to get closer to the station.
Aggressor, use your flamethrowers to melt the snow in an area around the shuttle.
Clear the way
You
for
want to
us.
have you guys lead the way? It's a bit of a hike, but you can kind of see where the location of the station in question is. Mostly you can see it because there looks like in amongst the snow, there's some objects darting through the sky.
Like buildings?
More like something flying.
Like Eldar Raiders?
Maybe. You can't make out the shape from this distance.
Totally Xenos Raiders.
Yeah.
But you can make out explosions in the distance.
Yeah, definitely Eldar
The
Raiders.
sound kind of permeates and vibrates through the snow.
I think I forgot something on the ship. I'm just gonna go grab it.
Nope.
And I'll be back.
Although I'm surprised they didn't shoot us down on our way down.
There is a good chance you suspect that they didn't notice you.
Alright, well, we gotta get closer and help out. Purge the Xeno scum!
Alright.
Alright, that concludes the roleplay portion, the storytime portion for episode 1. Please, if you're interested to see where the story goes and what's happening, go on to see the battle report of episode 1. In the links below or next video on the playlist here on YouTube. Thank you. We've been Jay from Jade Productions. And after that battle report, there will be another story time as an epilogue to this session.